Hello and welcome to this videocast for subscribers to davidicke.com. One of the things I've been saying over the years is that in human society, ignorance is so all-pervading that they call it intelligence. And I would suggest that if you observe the world and what happens in the world and what people say about the world, you can see how true and blatantly obvious that is. So much of what is taken for granted as, everyone knows that, mate, turns out to be a load of old crap. Not true at all. But if you can persuade people to believe things that aren't true, if you can get them to believe in limitations that aren't there, then you can dictate their perceptions of life, their possibilities of life, and therefore their life, individually and collectively. I'll give you an example. I was looking on the internet this week, looking at information about holograms and holographics. And I found this story that was about me. And it was in a British newspaper. And it basically said, that nutter David Icke believes the universe is an hologram. And all that stuff. Well, you see, what they don't know, because they don't choose to find out, is that there are scientific studies around the world that have come to the same conclusion, or at the very least are being pushed into the direction that the universe, and as I say, everything in it, within it, is a hologram, which, as I'll go into in detail today, explains, among many other things that I will be introducing, the world and the mysteries of the world that we see all the time and we cannot understand all the time. But if you're looking for someone or looking for something and you will not go where they are is always going to be a mystery, isn't it? And I've just described so much of mainstream science and mainstream society. So, here we are, having someone ridiculed for saying the world's holographic. And here we have an article sent to me this week in Science Daily. Is the universe a hologram? The source of the information is Vienna University of Technology, and it says our own universe could in fact be two-dimensional and only appear three-dimensional, just like a hologram, which is what I've been writing in my books for years and years and years and years. Everybody knows, it says, holograms from credit cards or banknotes. They are two-dimensional, but to us they appear three-dimensional. Our universe could behave quite similarly. Well, ditto. Been in my books for years, but then I'm just a nutter. Why? Because people's perception, particularly the media and the establishment in general, is so programmed in its reflex action responses and perceptions that when someone says something and it's got, he's a scientist, then they believe it, even if they tell him vaccines are safe, for instance. And scientists at one point, who called themselves scientists, said the earth was flat, if you kind of recall. And yet when someone else, who's not a scientist, he's a nutter, says exactly the same and develops upon it, takes it further, then that's not credible. And it's these programmed responses, this programmed belief in where credible information comes from and where non-credible information comes from, that creates this society based on ignorance masquerading as intelligence. So we go to another story that came out this week. One step closer to artificial intelligence, scientists create cells replicating human brain processes. Now, why can they do that? How can they, if you like, technologically replicate the human brain? Because the body, again, as I've been writing for years and years and years, is a biological computer. And so you can replicate it in a, if you like, non-natural sense as a construct, because what you are replicating is a construct, a biological construct. Now, if the universe, our reality, is a hologram, and the body is a biological computer, this takes us to the next question. Well, who created them then? Which then takes us into areas of far greater intelligence, not difficult in most cases, I have to say, in fact, probably in all, greater intelligence in terms of technological ability, not necessarily wisdom, than humans. And so that takes us into, he thinks that aliens run the world. Oh my God! Did I say that? Ignorance is all-pervading to the point where they call it intelligence? Did I mention that? I think I might have done. If I didn't, I should have done. Many, many times. So the story goes on. Australian scientists for the first time developed an electronic long-term memory cell that mimics the work of the human brain. Researchers say the discovery is a step towards creating a bionic brain. Well, this is a biological bionic brain, if you like. It's not us. We are consciousness experiencing this reality through this biological computer. It's that consciousnness that leaves the body at what we call death. And that's why when near-death experiencers have had their experience of dying, the body dying, that they don't. Their consciousness not only continues, it expands into a fantastic level of awareness not experienced within the body. Why? Because the body, the biological computer, operates and concentrates attention within a tiny range of frequencies, and thus that's all we can perceive while in the body. So when our consciousness leaves the body, suddenly these near-death experiences talk about this fantastic expansion of consciousness, awareness, and perception. It's all dead simple, but only if you're prepared to look where the answers are and not go, that's ridiculous, that's ridiculous, that's nonsense, that can't be true. How do you know? What research have you done? Oh, zero, gotcha.